Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, April 4th. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show where the Teach Better team is live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We're so excited to be with you bright and early on this Monday morning for a very, I think a good show. I think it's been starting off good. Jeff and I were talking before we came live, and he had all these disgusting things he was telling me, which typically means it's going to be quite an entertaining conversation. So stick with us, fill up your coffee, and let's get into April. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. Jeff Gargas is in the house, but I do wish it was someone else.
Well, I don't blame you on that one.
You're just what I get. I get it. You can't complain. You get what you get. You don't get upset.
You can't always win, right? Sometimes you get Jeff instead.
I'm just going to sit back and drink my coffee during the show. Jeff, do you want to start off our show with the really lovely story you started my morning off with?
Sure. I was just telling you how I got up this morning and I felt old. My back was hurting when I got out of bed for some reason. So I'm already feeling old. And then I almost wiped out because I stepped my left foot went in some cat puke and I almost went off my feet. And, so then I had to clean that up in the dark because I didn't want to wake up Amy. And
can we just get a raise of hands? Who needed that story at 7 a.m.?
Listen, my thought is that if I share things like this with you, perhaps you'll look at your life and how you woke up this morning and realize things are pretty good.
I want to clarify. I already woke up and realized, you know what? Things are pretty good. I'm happy. I'm healthy. My dogs are alive. My home is a good temperature. I'm able to start my morning off with the Teach Better family. I did not wake up needing any of that perspective. That is gross.
But now you get to put another box and put in no puke this morning. Check.
You know what? I will say
it's like 2 points higher now.
I'm not trying to be negative, but I have not been too far into my home yet this morning. I wake up and get here quite quickly. So for all I know, there is puke waiting for me. I just haven't found it yet.
Early in the day still. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I don't know how all of you are starting your mornings, but hopefully it is puke free in every way, shape, or form.
Listen, I just told you you're the one who decided we should tell everyone.
No, I just want the Teach Better community to understand what my life is like. We all have things in our lives that, create little hubbubs in our day, little hurdles, and Jeff Gargas is one of them for me, friends.
It's good. I'm feeling good this morning. This is great. Yeah. Thanks.
Hey, it's Monday. I haven't really talked to you all weekend.
I know.
We messaged back and forth a bit about a few work things, but
late. Yeah, but that wasn't even until yesterday evening, really, wasn't it? So we went most of the weekend without a word. Yeah. I did really, really well this weekend of not paying attention to what was going on in our internal communication stuff to keep myself off. I don't know.
Me too. I think maybe.
I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't pay attention, so I don't know whether you were or not.
There we go. What was your weekend full of? If it wasn't working, which I'm thrilled it wasn't, what was your weekend full of?
Not much.
Oh, good.
And that was the kids go back to school today, so we were trying to do kind of a chill weekend to get them, make sure that they were not over, whatever going in and stuff. So it was just a relaxed weekend. I'm trying to think what we did. We didn't do much of anything. I mean, we did some stuff around the house and cleaned up the yard and got some stuff, ready for spring coming and stuff. Jacqueline helped me do some of that stuff, and that was it. Just kind of chilled out, which is nice.
Good. My weekend was really busy, but
really
in a good way. Busy.
What were you busy doing?
Well, you know how there's a balance on a weekend of relaxing and also possibly having activities you enjoy. You never want to be all one or all the other. It's like trying to find. I had a very balanced weekend, is what I would say.
What were some of the activities you enjoy that happened this weekend?
So Friday, spoiler alert, I'm alive to end the story before we get into it. But Friday, I made homemade pasta sauce for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm alive, so it didn't kill me.
That's good.
And it was really fun. It was really good. That was my Friday night activity. And then Saturday morning, got to sleep in and have coffee with a member of our Teach Better community that reached out and asked if I was in the Chicagoland area. I was like, well, I am, but depending on where you are, that can be quite far. Like
Yeah.
I'm about as far west that you're allowed to say you're in the Chicagoland area. So if you're anywhere near the lake, I'm like as far as I could possibly be. Anyway, they woke up early and they drove to my community, and I was able to see Bruce Umstead, who I don't know if
Oh yeah, Bruce.
recently, but he's
Wow.
a great friend that I met in Rhode Island that I presented at FETC with a few times.
Mm-hmm.
He's an awesome guy. So did that Saturday morning, and then Saturday night I went on a date with my two fabulous parents. They came all the way to my community as well, and we got to try out a new restaurant. I mean, it was really fun.
That sounds like a good weekend.
Yes, and then it ended Sunday with me throwing the dogs in the car, and we did like a outside trail walk for hours type thing. So
Wow.
it was a good balance.
So yeah, so relaxing because of the things you did, but busy because you were doing things. Like that's the good stuff.
Doing things, but I also then like after our 4-hour walk, like lounged around, didn't do anything. So
Yeah.
it's like the balance,
That's good. Well, that's good. Mine wasn't like my Saturday was like I did a lot of work around the house, but it was stuff I enjoyed, and then lots of lounging and not doing much. Well, actually, I played like 3 hours, probably maybe ish, of Minecraft with Jacqueline, which was a good time. So
there you go.
But
I was able to send out an email to our community last night. For those of you who haven't checked your email yet, you have one waiting from us here at the Teach Better team. But we had one of our Speakers Network members publish a book, and it you could really like feel the energy on the post on social media. And hopefully for all of you on our email list, you're able to get that email and learn a little bit more about Brittany and the work that she's doing. And obviously there's a direct link to her brand new book. But Jeff, you've been friends with Brittany. You introduced me to Brittany originally a few years ago. Can you tell us a little bit about our friend Brittany Wolf, a part of the Teach Better Speakers Network?
Yeah, so I actually knew her brother-in-law more. He was a guy. He was good friends with the guys that I was in a band with back in the day. So then I knew him, and he was just a couple years behind me in school. Brittany, I knew through the connection, but like we didn't know each other super well. And then she started her YouTube channel where she shares her journey of going through life with Tourette syndrome, and it was picking up some steam. And a college, Neomed, a medical school in Ohio, reached out to her, and so her husband was like, "Hey, you should call Jeff since we don't know what the heck to do with this." And that's kind of how that started. And I gave him the advice I could at the time, and then we met, and I'm like, wow, we should talk about more. The Speakers Network was kind of a thought at that point, but not quite a thing. But that was right before. It was not right before. It was early in 2019. And so then I said something about the conference, and then that's where then you came in, and I think we ended up meeting with her. And I think you can attest, and I actually think you mentioned it in your email, like, once you meet Brittany, then it's kind of over. Like, yep. It's kind of like, okay, well, we're going to be friends, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help you now and support you because you are awesome. And the message she shares is powerful and important. And it's pretty awesome to see it now come to fruition with the book as something that she's always wanted to do. So, and I saw like her husband, Scott, who's amazing, through her like a book release party, and I mean the family is so excited for her and stuff. So she's pretty awesome. I have a feeling, I have a feeling she'll be at the conference in October.
Oh gosh, I have a feeling.
I'm sure she'll be snooping around somewhere.
I hope so. Yeah, for those of you who are not aware of Brittany Wolf, you can actually learn all about her now that she is all part of our Speakers Network. You just go to teachbetter.com/speakers network. She's right there. She actually just has a new headshot I just recently updated. So she's got a nice full updated profile that you guys can go read all about her and learn about the work that she does. But one of my favorite things is that she discusses her experience as a student going through school with Tourette syndrome and how we as educators can be better to support all of our learners in our classroom. And she has a beautiful perspective on wanting to bring awareness and support educators for being the best that they can be to support those types of students. And she is just a wonderful speaker. She's extremely entertaining to learn from. Obviously, you guys should check out her YouTube channel as well. Just lots going on with Brittany Wolf. We're very excited for her brand new book with EduMatch, and we all love EduMatch. So it's a fun opportunity there.
So congratulations, Brittany. Yesterday was the official launch.
The official launch. So exciting. So good. Jeff, I know we have a lot to get into, but why don't we kick off our morning with the Happy Feed app?
Oh, yes.
Do you want to explain how we use Happy Feed?
We put thoughts, things that we're happy, that make us happy, that we're appreciative of in there every morning. And then occasionally, how often do you read out? Because you can go, what schools you can go back and it gives you a feed of past thoughts and past reflections so that you can kind of remember them and bring them back, which is, I think, the unique part about this app compared to a lot of other apps that you can put in, daily thoughts and stuff like that into. So is that what you're doing right now?
I was going to do it today.
I guess that's doing it right today. Okay, let's go. So what do you got for us?
All right. So last week, our moment of gratitude as we document every single morning show in our app. Happy Feed is a free app for those of you who are interested. You're welcome to use it along with us. But we really do love, as Jeff said, kind of to be able to revisit back. Last week, Dave Schmittou was live with us on Monday morning because you were off working with school districts. And he documented that he was really grateful that he got to drive his son to work as his son was just a few days away from getting his license. He really appreciated this experience. The one before was you and me. We documented an appreciation for having people in our life that are committed to better, which is always, something that I feel like is worthy of a mention. And then this one I thought was really interesting because I feel like I need to go back and have somebody either remind me of this story or maybe you in the comments knew 3 weeks ago. It says, thankful for Cook Better-ish book.
Cook Better-ish. Oh, we talked about didn't we talk about doing like a cookbook or something?
Apparently.
And we were going to call it Cook Better-ish. Well, we said like cook better, and then we added the ish because we were like,
Yeah. So, someday we all are going to cook better, just ish a little bit.
I bet, it was after the weekend that led into that Monday, I think was, I cooked like all kinds of seafood stuff. Then we got into like all the different things. We talked about like how you cook your short ribs, and now apparently pasta sauce homemade. So
yes,
it's getting better-ish.
It's getting better-ish. Yeah, pasta sauce. Shout out to those.
I think we should really do that. We should do a Cook Better-ish book where we get recipes from all of our community. People can submit them, and we'll put it all together, and we'll celebrate each one of them. So maybe they do they share one recipe and one story of being better in their classroom.
I love this idea. As long as it's other people's cooking. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I'll put my pasta sauce in there if that's what you want. It was tomatoes and garlic. Woo! But I will try. All I'm saying is you do not want a cookbook of Ray's recipes because they'll be like open Pop-Tart, eat cold.
I'm literally picturing you got this big pot and you just dump tomatoes in there.
Yeah.
And then some a couple cloves of garlic and you're just like, I don't know why it's not working.
Jeff,
I'm talking full tomatoes. You didn't do anything. You just threw tomatoes in there and then some garlic on top. Jeff, is that what it was?
Obviously, you would saute the garlic first. Obviously.
Ooh, wow.
And then the tomatoes are out of a can.
I was gonna say, did you use tomato sauce like that, or did you squish your own tomato? I don't know how to do that. How do you make?
Oh, you can. Oh! How dare you joke? I bought a can of a few cans, but a can of tomatoes that were whole, and I squished them and put them in the sauce.
Good for you.
I mean, let me tell you, I may have made a mess, but those tomatoes were squished like nobody's business. Let me tell you. Did you know that when you squish a tomato, it goes whoosh everywhere?
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah.
Me too. I found that out.
Yeah. That's good.
By the second can, I figured out you needed to put them really far into the pot before you squished.
Yeah.
So it didn't end up all over your counter and stove. Just about. If anyone needs my pasta sauce recipe, there you go. I got you right there.
It's going to be in the book.
Obviously.
I know we think we're joking, but I'm not joking at this point. I'm serious now.
We're
going to get into this thing.
We would need like a specific launch date. Like, is that something that you release at the conference or you start at the conference?
I don't know. First, we need a publisher silly enough to agree to do it.
Oh, you want to actually like publish it formally versus
we're gonna do like a book. We're gonna do a book. It's gonna be called Teach Better-ish.
Well, we just did
Cook Better-ish.
We just did a shout out to EduMatch. Maybe EduMatch would publish our book.
I got 2 back here from our friends at DBC. So
I do love DBC.
I don't know if Dave is crazy about our cooking or not, though.
Well, you know,
maybe if we let Dave put a recipe in.
Yeah, he does teach like a pirate, so maybe he cooks like a pirate too.
Maybe he does.
Mm-hmm. All right, we are going to move on from this, but we do need to document something in our free Happy Feed app where we document a moment of gratitude every single morning on the show. So, Mr. Jeffrey Raymond Gargas, what are you appreciative of? Can I tell you, I'm appreciative of Jody in the comments. Jody McNally, I used to teach with, and that woman, every single time I see her name, her face is gorgeous. I'd love to see her face more often, but even just the sight of her name makes me happy, and she's in the comments this morning.
I'm pretty sure that's our Happy Feed.
Yes?
The sight of Jody's name. Not her face, but her name. Type it in like that, too.
I will.
The sight of Jody's name, ... Not her face, but her name.
No, I love her face too. She's got this smile that can brighten a room. But all I'm saying is like.
I know, but today we're showing our appreciation of the sight of her name, not her face today.
Yeah, because I can't see her face. She can see my face. Hi, Jody. Good morning. Like she can see us, but she's only in the comments.
Just saying.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Wow, you're really helping me with the.
I'm appreciative of the sight of Adam's name.
Hi, Adam. Good morning. There's a lot of people in the comments. I didn't need to only acknowledge one person. That was
all right. Everybody else understands, Ray.
Oh my gosh, guys!
Everybody else is appreciative of the day that Ray might say my name on.
All right. Good morning to everyone in the comments. We are so sorry if you are feeling in any way left out. We appreciate you. Happy Monday, April 4th. It is 6:18 Central, 7:18 Eastern. We'll be right back for good news. Good morning, everyone. We are thrilled to start off our morning together here on the Daily Drop-In. Jeff, I know that you really love holidays, that we're able to celebrate random and serious holidays here on the show. You're going to be disappointed today. Just so you know.
Not many holidays?
No, there's a ton of holidays.
Okay.
There's not a single one. This is a big statement, so don't kill me later. But there's really not a single one that I consider to be a real holiday.
All right, those are my favorite then. Let's hear them.
But these are like massive stretches. Like I love a good day celebrating something random, like National Light Bulb Day. That's a great day. It's random. These holidays are made up. These are like a group of high schoolers got together and they're like, how can we make up holidays that no one will understand? And let's put them all on April 4th.
Yesterday, I celebrated Brother-in-Law Day. Is that a holiday? Does anybody know whether that's actually a holiday?
It's a great holiday. Absolutely.
So we've seen a couple times live. I have it over there. My Back to the Future, my almanac, sports almanac. But then I think I showed it once or twice live. When I bought that, I got it's a replica, like an official replica of the hoverboard.
Right.
And I bought it for my brother-in-law, just because we both like Back to the Future. So I gave it to him yesterday. He was over. Our girls were over at my in-laws playing, so we both were over to pick him up. And I walk in, and of course, my in-law is just my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and then my brother-in-law and me. And I said, look, this might be a little awkward for everyone, but sometimes I just buy things and do nice things for my brother-in-law. And I gave it to him, and he was like, this is the coolest thing ever. And I'm like, happy brother-in-law's day. And he's like, is today brother-in-law day? And I'm like, no, I don't. And then so we had this conversation about whether or not that's a holiday. And we decided that it is. And it's just whatever day you pick.
No, I'm confident
So yesterday, if you have a brother-in-law, yesterday you missed it. Yesterday was the was brother-in-law day for 2022.
No, brother-in-law day.
No, don't tell me no. It's yes.
Guys, brother-in-law day is a real holiday. It just
is it really a real holiday?
Yeah, but I can't search it. It's not working.
I didn't have the heart to Google it to prove us wrong yesterday.
Trust me, it exists.
All right, what's today while I look that up?
If these holidays exist, you need to pay attention to me. You cannot be putzing around on your phone.
National brother-in-law. There's a broinlaw.com. Takes place every year on the day after Thanksgiving. I don't like that. I disagree with that. I'm pretty sure it's April 3rd. Go on.
Guys, the show is over. We appreciate you. We'll see you later. Have a great morning.
That's good. I got things to do today, Ray.
Guys, here's the deal. I don't consider any of these holidays actual holidays that should be on this website. So here's what you need to do. If you're listening and you hear me read a holiday and you're like, oh my gosh, I would totally celebrate that holiday, or how could you say this isn't a real holiday? Please put it in the comments, and I need to know which one you think is an actual holiday that should be mentioned. Are you ready? In the comments, please get your finger on the keyboard or whatever you need to do. Again, I'm not saying these are bad things, but why they're a holiday, I don't understand. First one, right at the top, National Hug a News Person Day. Not saying you shouldn't hug a news person.
I have a couple news people in my life that I'd love to hug. I'd celebrate that.
You should probably ask them first if they want to hug.
I'll celebrate that.
I don't think you should run up to people doing a traffic thing. And you feel
that's what it should be. It's
no.
Yeah. Okay. So National Hug a News Person.
It's International Carrots in the Ground Day. Fine.
Is that to make awareness of planting more carrots?
I don't know. It's April 4th. It's National Cordon Bleu Day, which is a sandwich.
Yeah, National Cordon Bleu Day. So let's do cordon bleu on everything. Cordon bleu everything.
Sure. It's National Consider Vitamin C in your day today.
It's not even vitamin C Day. It's consider.
Just consider it. Just everyone think about it. Just consider if you want any. This is probably the one that made me the most angry as I was prepping for the show. National Walk Around Things Day. That's not real. That's not
What
real.
does that mean?
It means that you need to walk around things. I don't know.
Instead of through?
Apparently, or jump over, hop over. I don't know.
It's a lot more. It's better exercise to hop over.
It depends how long it takes to walk around it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then last one, which I'm not condoning, Monday morning as we're all headed into school, Tell a Lie Day? What is today?
That's an interesting one.
No, that April Fool's was Friday.
I have been meaning to tell you, Ray, that I love your hair.
You know what? Piss off. No. I hate all of you. This is the worst holidays ever. And you know this is my favorite segment. And I'm so disappointed.
I don't know if you're lying right now.
No, today is National Jody McNally Day. That's what I've decided.
We should put that in. Sounds like you can put in pretty much whatever you want. So
that's what we're going to do. Today is National Jody McNally Day. She's a member of our Teach Better community. Today is your day. I need something to celebrate, Jody, so suck it up.
I want to make sure that I know publicly for everyone to hear that when we were talking about the book, I did not know it was National Lie Day, so that was not a lie. That's a thing.
Okay. It was, okay. It cannot be National Lie Day 3 or 4 days after April Fool's. It's stupid.
Well, see, Friday's not, you're not supposed to tell a lie. You're supposed to, play a prank. Today you're supposed to straight up lie. Like when you lie, you don't actually then go tell them that you're lying. You just lie.
Okay, I'm not condoning any of this behavior, but thank you so much for tuning into the Daily Drop-In Morning Show. What I do enjoy is this good news story. You good for a good news story?
Yeah, I think we need one right now.
Okay, super interesting. I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but this might be a possible story that you can. A lie. No, this is not a lie.
I'm sorry. I thought. Okay, my bad. I read the notes wrong. My bad. Go ahead.
Jeff, this is a real good news story that I think would be really interesting for students. There's a lot in here, so I'm not going to get into it, but there are a lot of different topics I feel like you can pull out to discuss with students. One is that Stephen Thomas is a student in Chicago who is graduating from one of their technical high schools in the city, and he was awarded over $1 million in scholarships and offered admission to over 30 universities.
Wow.
He is a student that is 17 years old. He'll be graduating with a 4.47 GPA as he enters into the summer. He's considering all these different schools, But his main message and why he loved and appreciated being interviewed for his success is that he is a African-American teen that wants to spread his story to inspire others. His mother is a teacher. He is one of seven children being raised by the single mother. And his mother goes into how proud she is. She has committed so much time and energy to not only being a teacher for so many students, but obviously a teacher to her 7 children as well. And he is excited to accept. He has not announced what college or university he's going to yet, but he's excited to accept a position at a university to become a psychologist. And he wants to spread awareness of how important it is to change the narrative and ensure that there is so much success out there that is there for our Black and African-American teens, and how he is so excited to share his story. So I loved reading his story for sure.
Wow. That's impressive. 7, and she is a single mother with 7 kids. Wow, that is impressive.
Offered over $1 million in scholarship, accepted to 30 colleges and universities, and wants to go be a psychologist. And wow, what a successful young man right there.
I didn't even apply to 30 colleges.
I know. Isn't that amazing?
I don't think I could think of 30 colleges.
Those are hard acceptances. He did actually mention a few of the schools that he was interested in going to. He's looking at like Duke and, a few universities in the city. But I honestly, first of all, applying to college takes so much time and energy. Sometimes there's a financial commitment when you apply, but he has a lot to celebrate this week.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yes, very cool. So Jeff, I know we have a new theme this week that we need to get into, as well as prepping everybody for this Monday morning. Should we get into our brainstorm bank?
Sure.
All right, we're back.
All right, and welcome back to Daily Drop. And we are currently live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And Rae, our theme for this week for our brainstorm bank is lower in stress to increase capacity.
Yeah.
Which was like, I read that and I was like, that makes a lot of sense. I wish it was more profound enough, but I'm like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. If you can, okay. You kind of lower this and it goes up. Anyway.
Don't you think it's kind of like I'm trying to think, it's like a thermometer of like, where it's like, if you have lower stress, you have more space to be able to fit other things. Right?
My thought went like, you only have so much capacity, right? Of mental strength and emotional strength, all this stuff, and energy. And if it's being used up by stress, either stressing about stuff, feeling the stress of stress, or thinking about it, whatever, you don't have the capacity for other things. So if you can lower that, you're freeing up. It's actually very simple, but also extremely powerful if you can figure out how to do that.
I don't think I understood what that was like until 2020. And I think a lot of educators probably agree. I think a lot of people probably agree that there were days where you were carrying so much stress of the unknown with COVID, working with students, being, isolated in your home, that you didn't do anything, but you were just exhausted and didn't have the capacity to take on anything else. Does anyone remember that? I feel like that was my lesson on this topic.
2020 and even a lot of 2021, there was still just that. It was just like you just felt stress from the world.
Yeah.
It was weird because like there's always been things to stress about and things to worry about and bad things, all that. But like there's just like everyone in the world felt it. Like I think that's the kind of the unique thing is like a lot of times the stress you feel like not everyone can understand or relate, but like we all felt the same. Yeah. I think it's gone, or maybe we're all just used to it at this point.
I don't know that it's gone, but I will say I think that while many of us have been stressed prior to 2020, there was definitely a little bit of a wake-up call around this topic that we've been feeling ever since. And I'm excited to be able to spend a week focused on how we can do our best to lower our stress so we can increase our capacity. And our capacity doesn't mean to necessarily like go do something that is productive or go do something that is, well celebrated. It might just be our capacity to spend more time with our family or spend more time with our community, take time to be better for ourselves. So Jeff, you are somebody who actually I thought would speak quite well to this topic because with your schedule, you juggle 1,000 things in your day, just like a teacher. but you also are very committed to ensuring that you are constantly looking at, I'm going to say balance, although I know you don't like balance, but how to balance elements of your life. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Sure. I was, and so yeah, and I guess this kind of leads. I was going to say, like, and it's you're spot on talking about how it's not necessarily to increase your capacity to do more things. Sometimes it's simply to increase your capacity so that you can handle the stress better.
Yeah.
Right. So you can put a little more energy into whatever that thing is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, balance. I always go to harmony, right? Because sometimes, which if you really think about it, I check myself because, like, if you really think about it, a harmony is just good balance. But
Yeah.
my reason for saying that is that a lot of times when we think balance, we think 50-50.
Yes.
But a lot of times this is your balance, right? Like, so I think about, like, when we were kids and on teeter-totter, how you'd, like, put a couple kids on one, or you'd scoot up or down to try and get yourself to balance it. It wouldn't always be like this. Sometimes you'd be hanging out, like, that's how we did it. And sometimes that's how it is, because sometimes work has to lead. Sometimes life has to lead. Sometimes that one particular project, that one particular colleague, that one particular student, whatever, has to lead, or someone in your life. And so I don't know that I'm any better at it than anybody else. I think for me, it's just I try to stay, like, keep myself aware of it, and I think that helps me deal with it. Not that I always deal with it well, but I think understanding that, okay, well, right now, I guess this week is one of these weeks where work's gonna take the lead, and I got to do what I need to do to make sure my family understands that this is one of those weeks that I get myself mentally prepared and go in there. And to me, that is part of lowering the stress to increase my capacity to handle it. Because if I don't, and then I'm just feeling guilty and I'm feeling burnt out, then I can't deal with it. But if I've had a conversation with my wife and with my kids, and I've made, like, all right, well, look, the next 3 days, Daddy's kind of busy, but this weekend we got a fortnight date or whatever it might be, then I can go, okay, I just increased my capacity now to deal with the stress that I have to, because we've got late night meetings, which you and I have a lot, because a lot of our team works in the evening. So to me, I think that's how I do that. It's a big piece. Yeah. That's how I kind of increase that capacity. And I think
lowering stress doesn't mean you got rid of a stressful, like, activity or stressful responsibility. Some of that, I love that you just shared that. Sometimes we can lower stress by committing to clearly communicating. That in and of itself may lower some stress. It's not going to take it all away. Obviously, you might still have responsibilities that you need to take on that might cause stress, but I love the reminder that even with a very busy to-do list, even with a lot on your plate, sometimes you can lower stress by communicating effectively.
Yeah. Sometimes it's almost just the acceptance of it, not to sound too whatever, but it's almost the acceptance of, and the communication. I think it was a great way of putting that in. And that's enough for you to be like, okay, I accept that this is how this week's going to be.
Yep.
But I'm, you know what I mean? So
I'm really struggling, Jeff, because I don't want to bring up a topic that I feel like I talked on a lot over the last 2 weeks, but this, to me, it goes right back to having that joy list, which I feel like I've talked about. I probably should write a blog about over at teachbetter.com. So if Carrie's listening, or Brianne, I probably should get that going.
Brianne's here, so she just took a note.
Yes, exactly.
Now you will do it.
I know it's silly, but this does apply. So can we go through this really quick? Maybe one person does this.
Sure.
Do you mind? Okay. Yeah. So we're talking about all week. We're going to have different guests on. We're going to talk about how stressors really need to be something that we try and lower as much as possible so we can increase our capacity for other things, or just to handle things better. And one of the things that have come up, I know, a few times on the show over the last few weeks, is creating a joy list. And your joy list is just a list of things that you enjoy that can kind of get you out of a stressful moment, or try and fill you back up to continue to be able to persevere through challenging times. And what activity we've gone through numerous times, I know we've talked about on the show, is make your joy list. List everything humanly possible that brings you joy, and then list the time it takes to refresh you or refuel you when you're doing that activity. So, for example, Jeff, a silly example, I love to go on a beach vacation, but I may not feel completely refreshed until about the 5th day of that vacation. So a beach vacation could go on my joy list. I love a beach vacation, but that's a 5-day commitment to really feel that refuel energy. And so it's not necessarily going to be a quick fix all the time. Yeah. Whereas if I get a half an hour cooking in my kitchen with my phone off, oh my gosh, I feel like all the stress wipes away from the day, and I'm completely distracted, and I get to smell good things, hopefully taste good things depending on what recipe I'm using, and I really can feel refreshed more quickly. Or if I throw on one of my favorite songs and blast it right in my office or in my classroom, it's almost like 10 seconds into that song, whew, the energy has completely re-energized my body. So when you make your list, if you know the time commitment that it takes to get that refresh, energizing feeling, then anytime you need it, whether you have 2 minutes or have a full week to plan, you can turn to that joy list and try and incorporate something more into your life to really increase that capacity and lower your stress.
I love that. Where do you keep your joy list? Do you put it somewhere?
Okay, so honestly,
you keep it digitally somewhere, or I'm thinking that wall might be a good place for my joy list, like a big 18 by 24.
I started keeping it on my refrigerator.
Do you really? Okay.
I know that's silly, but in my old house, I used to keep it at the fridge because the fridge was kind of located right next to a major hallway I was walking in and out of. So I was constantly exposed to the reminder of choosing to do something on my joy list.
I like that.
Whether you do it on your phone, or maybe, I know there's a few people I talked to actually even last week that said they keep it on the back of their door, like the door that they leave the house, whether it's the garage door, they leave it right there. I know a few teachers keep it in their desk because they find themselves needing that joy list during the school.
That's what I was thinking, like if on my office, like in the office, because that's when I'm most likely going to need that.
Yeah.
So be like, oh, what should I can go do 15 minutes to dog walk, like.
Yeah. But my challenge is like, write ridiculous things. There's a lot of things that bring me joy that sound silly. But if you can write all of them down, then what a great curated list of things that bring you happiness. You're only going to choose them every so often as needed. But I think it does increase your capacity because it lowers your stress because it brings you happiness.
I'm thinking if there isn't already, we should probably create an app.
Ooh, an app would be good. What's something that brings you joy, Jeff? Can you give us an example of something, and can you give us the time limit you need?
Well, so I just go and take Buster, my dog, for a little walk just to get out and breathe some air and watch his little legs go because he's a little log. Yeah. And honestly, I think it's probably 10 to 15 minutes. Like, it's a really simple little thing. As silly as it sounds, going for a run brings me joy normally. I don't do it enough, but it does. So probably 30 minutes there.
Yeah, I love those. I know it's silly, but have you ever had like a really good typically in the fall, red Macintosh apple?
No, I'm on some Macintosh. I have a Mac. I got a new one over there. But it's silver.
No, you all know what I'm talking about. In the fall, when you can get like really, really,
I know
crisp Macintosh apples, those are on my joy list. I know that you can only get them in the fall, but
did you go pick yourself? Like,
I'm the grocery store has great ones too, and they're hard to order now in the spring. But like, get into the summer, get into fall, get into winter. They're, at least in my community, you can get them for quite some time. That's definitely one. Those are you take a bite out of that, it's like instantaneously your life's a little better.
You mentioned cooking too. Cooking's definitely one for me. Like doing ribs, but that's one that's going to take a little while. So
I think the difference for me is cooking is so new, so challenging for me.
It's exciting,
But I'm forced to not think about work because I have to put so much thought and energy into cooking, and it's a blessing. No, it really is.
It takes your mind off it.
I can't stress about the email. I can't stress about the information that my principal gave me because, like, if I'm not stirring, I don't know. It's I need to know the.
That's a great example of that is a way that you are increasing your capacity when you're actually doing more than you were necessarily, but you're lowering your stress through that. Which is but you're actually doing right. So you're not technically, it's not about getting more time. It's about taking where your time's going to increase your capacity to do things. So
does anybody have like a good shower, like a good hot shower on their joy list? I feel like that's a good way to like reset. If you have the luxury to be able to say like, okay, I've had a busy day. I might maybe have a busy evening. I'm going to like really quick go take a shower and like get a second wind. I feel like that's something that sometimes in the evenings I'm like, ooh, if I need a second wind and it's like 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock, I'm like, oh, if I take a really quick shower, I'll like get a boost of energy from that.
Yeah, I could see that. Listen, cuddle time with Jacqueline.
Yeah, see?
That's definitely.
Love that.
I probably only need like 3 minutes of that, but I'll take more. But that's probably all it takes. Like
Yeah.
she's a good cuddler. Anyway,
That's what I'm saying. And like honestly, I know it's silly, but I love like funk and Motown music. If I can throw on, it's called Bang Bang by David Sanborn. Go look it up if you're not familiar. That is a song that within the first 5 seconds, if you put it on high volume, you cannot help but be like jamming. And so I think music's a big thing on my joy.
oh yeah,
I'm trying to lower stress and increase capacity. I typically just need some good music.
I love it. Okay, I'm gonna make a joy list today.
I think that'd be good. I mean, I know that so many different people on the show this week are gonna have different suggestions, but you know,
can we explore who that is? Are you
yeah,
gonna tell
let's
me?
get into to what's in our week. What button do we push? Oh, how about upcoming this week? Do you think that's the right one? Let's try it. Clarify. We've been doing daily drop-in every single morning, Monday through Friday, since August 2nd of 2021, at least for this stint of daily drop-in experience, not the like on and off stuff we've been doing since 2020.
Yeah.
I still don't know what button to push for this segment.
What's weird about it?
Here's the problem.
It says up this week.
Yeah, up on the back end here. It's called up period this week, which is like upcoming this week.
What's the period?
Because like upcoming is too long of a word.
Oh, so okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, but the one I press with Brad Hughes on Fridays is weekly recap, but that's confusing to me because we do recap the week, but then we also preview next week.
I think you should change that to preview.
I think week. I should call it Brad's button and Jeff's button.
But Brad and I don't push it.
No, but it's when I'm live with Brad, I click the weekly recap. And when I'm live with you, I click the upcoming this week. And they're both black.
But don't you play the upcoming this week? You don't. Yeah, so you don't play either one of those on the other Tuesday through Thursday.
No, like this is my favorite button. Hold on, I'll click it. My favorite one. I love it.
Just to be clear, we are not recapping the week. We are still in upcoming this week.
But we're kind of like recapping the week to come.
I don't think that's called recapping.
You know what? It's fine, friends. Let's get into this week. Just in case you're wondering, Jeff and I are live right now, Monday morning.
Are you okay? That's good. I wasn't sure you were aware that we were live right now, but I'm glad that you are. That's great.
I try. Hey, in case any of you are wondering, proposals are still open for the Teach Better Conference. My calendar is reminding me of that. Proposals for the Teach Better Conference, if you want to submit a session and join our lineup, are open only through this month. It is ending this month. Our speaker lineup will close at the end of April, and we'll be announcing our official full lineup later, a few weeks after that. So it's very
Rae, let's suppose I wanted to submit one. Where would I go for that?
Oh, you just head simply to teachbetterconference.com, friends.
Okay.
Yeah, so many ways to get involved. Okay, Lillian Ardell is live with us tomorrow. As many of you know, Lillian has been on the show before. Jeff, I think you interviewed her in the fall.
I think so. I think I did, yeah.
She has a ton of suggestions on how we can better use language. So she's always somebody I turn to for support in supporting our language learners. However, I will say she also has experienced a ton of stress in her life. I'm excited for her to dive into some strategies on how she lowers stress and increases capacity.
$10 says it has to do with the way in which she speaks to herself.
It might be, yes.
Her mind, the way it works in language is just like, it's so cool. So that's gonna be a fun one.
So fun. On Wednesday, we have Adam Lester joining us. If you guys aren't familiar, he's going to be such a good guest to have on.
He's never been live with us before, though, has he?
I don't think so.
He'll be in your face on live.
It's been ages since we've caught up. I don't know the last time I was able to have like a real good, healthy conversation with him. So I'm dying to hear.
That's cool. That's good.
Cool. We then have a new face as well. Ramona Tower is joining us on Thursday. So that is going to be a fun new experience for our Teach Better community. Continue to add our friends and build our network. And then Friday, one and only Brad Hughes is here with us on the 8th of April. So We're going to have a good week of suggestions on how you can take hold of the stress in your life. We're not saying we can make the stress go away, but how can we find that harmony, find that balance between the stress that we are carrying on our shoulders and also increasing our capacity to make sure that we are the best we can be for our friends, our family, our colleagues, and everyone in between. Yes.
Can we start also during this segment mentioning who's coming on for our brain break on Wednesdays?
Oh, I would love
Is that a thing? Can we do that?
Please, can we? Who's coming out on Wednesday?
We have Megan Anderson coming this Wednesday, which if you don't know Megan's a longtime friend of the team, a longtime member of our administrative masterminds, typically on Tuesday evenings. She's actually in Ohio, in Columbus, Ohio, and is just an amazing amazing educator. So super excited. And her and Dave have like just a really fun relationship. They were just like really, really good friends. So when you get them in a room, it's entertaining. So and they pick at each other because she's a huge Ohio State fan. He's a Michigan guy. So Megan and I have it. It's 2-on-1. So it's going to be entertaining on Wednesday to put her through the game that Bree's got for us and have a good time. So yes, it's going to be a blast.
Jeff, I can always throw it to you on Mondays to share with us.
We're going to add that in. We're going to add that into the week.
Yes, but then you're going to have to make sure the calendar has that updated so I know. Otherwise, I can just throw it to you and you can let me know.
So we had to move things around. So that just happened. So
but we'll figure out how to make sure that makes on the calendar.
Make sure
so we can report it even when you're not here.
Yes, I'm good with that.
That'll be good. On the flip side, just as a fun reminder, since we're talking about all the lives and all the fun that Teach Better has in store for you guys this week, we also have 2 lives with our featured speakers for our Teach Better conference lineup that we've been announcing. We announced Tom Schimmer and Allison Epsey last week, and they're going to be live with us this week. So I know Tom is live with us on Wednesday. It looks like Allison is also live with us, but I'm trying to locate the day, which is going to be a day that I'm really excited to share with all of you. I know that is so fun for sure.
You can't find her?
I can't, but you know what? That's because I'm scrolling. My stress is increasing.
Allison is on the 10th.
All right, perfect. So it's on this weekend. Awesome.
Yes.
You'll be able to learn from Tom and Allison, learn about what they might be presenting at the conference, and then also hopefully either submit your proposal so you can speak or register so that you can attend. I was telling somebody this weekend, we will sell out on this conference. It has not happened yet, thankfully, but this conference specifically is designed to be small, intimate, really good in-depth conversations, lots of good interaction between those presenting and those in attendance. The networking events are going to be insane. So if you are hoping to be with us October 14th and 15th this fall, definitely go grab your ticket before we sell out. Jeff, I know you have a lot going on today. I know your calendar is full of meetings because my calendar is full of meetings. Any words of advice before we head into our Monday today?
Nope. Enjoy your week. Create your joy list.
Ooh, I love it.
Love it.
Let us know what's on your joy list. If any of you add something that you feel like might be helpful to somebody else, or something that's like absolutely ridiculous that you're like, no, I'm gonna own it. This brings me joy and I love it. Make sure to tweet at us or share over on social media. We'd love to hear what's on your joy list. All right, friends, we'll see you later. Jeff, I'm excited to see your joy list later this afternoon.
Yes. Appreciate you.
Happy Monday.